So after the lesson, at the end of the lesson, you have a lot of tasks to be done. So I'm sure that almost all of you have received your textbook. So keeping your hard copy in hand, just go through the text and later on have a look on the working sheet and write down the essay and whatever the topics are there, the task that that was done already in the 11th standard. So you can understand that what is that. Taking the class, teaching inside the class is completely different from the way I am trying to do now. So you cannot put this video lecture at par with the classroom lecture. And now the second one is the Castle. Castle by Edwin Muir is the second lesson in Unit 1. It's a poem actually by Edwin Muir. So let's see who is that Muir. Muir was a renowned Scottish poet, novelist, translator, and critic. He was remembered for his vivid poetry. He began writing poetry at a relatively old age and over the course of several years worked out an individual philosophical style for which he gained recognition later in his life. First poems and chorus of the newly dead contain Muir's initial attempts, and Muir's later collection include variations on a time theme, The Narrow Place, The Voyage, and other poems, Labyrinth, and On Foot in Ellen. So, just I'm going to read this poem once, so you can, when you go and read, you will definitely feel very convenient to spell the words clearly. And just give a deep contemplation here when I'm reading this. All through the summer at ease we lay, and daily from turret wall we watched the movers in the hay, and the enemy half a mile away. They seemed no threat to us at all, for what we thought had we to fear, with our arms and provender load on load, or towering battlements tire on tire, and friendly alleys drawing near on every leafy summer road. Our gates were strong, our walls were thick, so smooth and high, no man could win a foothold there. No clever trick could make us dead or quick. Only a bird could have got in. What could they offer us for bait? Our captain was brave and we were true. There was a little private gate, a little wicket gate. The wizened warder let them through. Odener, made of tunnel stone, grew thin and treacherous as air. The, the cause was lost without it grown, the famous citadel overthrown, and all its secret galleries bare. How can this shameful tale be told? I'll maintain until my death. We could do nothing being so. Only enemy was gold, and we had no arms to fight it with. So let's go to the next page. Here we have some vocabularies inside the glossary part. What is a turret wall? A small tower on the top of a castle. Castle means what you call, what you say in Urdu khila, and movers, a grass and level the lawns, and provender, food, tall tower, towering, tall tower with opening to show. battlement, battlements opening to shoot the enemies. Tier, one above the other, friendly allies, supporting nations or armed forces, foothold, advantageous position, quick, alive, bait, intended to entice someone to do something, wicked, evil or morally wrong, wicket gate, a small gate, vision warden, God, maze, a winding, intricate, confusing path, treacherous means disloyal, groan, lament, cry, a safe and strong, citadel means a safe and strong fort, overthrown means conquered, defeated, and maintained, believe. So here the poet talks about the castle, which is strong enough uh, to protect themselves from the entry of enemies into it, and by being in the castle, they can easily watch the enemies, even if they are mile away from them. By standing on the top of this castle, one can understand, one can see the enemies. So here, the soldiers of the castle were totally stress-free and relaxed. The reason is the castle is so strong. The wall of the castle is very thick and strong, and the enemy cannot enter into it. And no enemy was found up to the distance of half a kilometer. Okay. Hence, there seemed no threat to the castle. The soldiers had more weapons to protect them and more food to take care of their well being in the castle. And the soldiers stood on the lower watching to shoot the enemy at sight. They believed that the castle was absolutely safe because the castle had strong gates and thick walls, and their captain was brave and their soldiers were loyal. And no one could enter the castle. The enemies could not use a weapon for their entry inside the castle, but there was a wicket gate guarded by a wicket wonder. He, he's letting the enemies inside the famous castle that had been known for secret gallery and intricate path. The strong castle became weak because of the greedy disloyal warder. The castle was captured by the enemies for gold. The narrator lamented over the disloyalty of the useless, and he also decided not to disclose this shameful story to anyone. He was helpless and wondered how he could keep this to himself. He mentioned that gold becomes their enemy. In this small story, we have a lesson actually. Greediness kills a person, it perishes a person. When a person have a greediness, definitely he may prefer to walk on the wrong path. And if you see in the last but one line, only enemy was gold, and we had no arms to fight with it. Here, here in the castle, Edwin Muir says that the fort is very strong. The soldiers are very loyal. At the same time, even the captain also very what to say very loyal. But there is an internal problem actually, because there are few people who are disloyal, who are tyrant, because of whom enemies can easily intrude into the castle through another gate, through the wicket gate. And if we go back to the history of Tipu Sultan, who was the king of Mysore, he was defeated because one of his one of his um, minister who got money from the Britishers, and then he opened the door of the castle to kill the Sultan. So when the enemy is within the four wall, definitely it's very difficult to survive. So there are many kingdoms and monarchies. They lost their life and land just because they had tyrants within the castle, and they are working for the enemies just for the sake of gold, just for the sake of money, just for the sake of wealth. If the greedy people are there in the team, they may make the castle paralyzed, they make the system paralyzed. So it is always very difficult for the rulers to rule by having the tyrants under them. If you see the first four lines of five lines of the poem, although that summer at ease we lay and daily from the turret wall, we watched the movers in the hay and the enemies half a mile away. They seemed no threat to us at all. Though it is a summer, we can easily stand on the top of this castle and watch the enemies away 1 kilometer away from them. For what we thought had we to fear with our arms and on a provender, load on load, or towering battlement, tire on tire, and friendly allies drawing near on every leafy summer road. And there is no need to fear, because there are many good allies also there, good neighbors also there, friendly allies are there. They are drawing very near. They are just living next to them. And our gates are strong. Now the poet proudly says that the gates of the castle is very strong, and even the walls of the castle is very thick, and it is so smooth and high, and no man could win. Nobody can climb into the castle because the walls are thick and the gates are strong. A foothold there, no clever trick could take us dead or quick. Only a bird could have got it. Only a bird can have an access into this castle, but not a human being. Nobody's trick can work out here to intrude into the castle. So, what could they offer us for bait? Our captain was brave and we were true. There was a little private gate, a little big wicket gate. The vision warden let them through. The total number of lines in the story is actually 30. The first 15 talks about the positive part of the story, positive part of the castle. It talks about the infrastructure of the castle, that it is strong and the walls is very thick, this and that. And because of that positive, the good qualities, enemies easily cannot enter into the castle. From the 16th line, from the 16th line, uh, from the 15th line, sorry, there was a little private gate. Now the negative part of the castle actually starts. There is a private gate actually in the castle, um, a little big wicket gate. The wizard warden let them through. Through that private gate, there are some tyrants who are already living in disguise, who are working actually for the enemies, who are allowing the enemies to enter into this private gate just for the sake of money. Oh, then our maze of tunnel stone grew thin and treacherous air. Because of that, even that strong wall and strong gate becomes weak. Because the enemy is living within the team, within the group, within the castle, and he's in hand in glove with the enemies. The famous citadel overthrown and all its secret galleries bare. So all the confidentiality of the castle um, gets revealed, and all the protections which is available in the castle becomes weak. And how can this shameful tale be told? Now, the poet feels ashamed to speak out, to reveal this fact that his own soldiers are hand in glove with the enemies. I will maintain until my death. Even the poet is not ready to reveal this fact till his last breath, till his death. We could do nothing. Even the poet is helpless here. We are helpless. We are helpless being sold. When a person is sold in the hands of an enemy, then even the captain of the ship actually helpless. The king of the castle is helpless. When the soldier is sold, when the soldier is completely sold for the sake of money, when the soldier is tyrant, our only enemy was gold. Here, the meaning is you should not see the denotative meaning. You have to see the connotative meaning. Here, the gold, which means wealth, which means the craving for money, which means the greediness of a person, and we had no arms to fight it with. When a person becomes greedy, there is no medicine available in this world to treat that. There is no any other way to treat that person to come out from this bad quality. When a person is corrupted, nothing can be done, and finally there will be a havoc for everything. So with this brief explanation about the poem, I'm just heading towards the remaining part, and you have picked up all this. You have small questions and you have one mark questions. Based on your understanding of the poem, answer the following question in one or two sentences each. Who is the narrator in the poem? And how long had the soldier been in the castle? And why were the soldiers in the castle fearless? So these are the simple questions we have here, and you have one marks question. You may get lines from the poem, and based on that, there may be few questions actually, and you have to give an answer for that. And secondly, you have ERC. If you see the lines, you have to mention in the context that from which poem the lines have taken, and you have to write the name of the poet as well. And for that, you will get 1 marks in the exam. And after that, for the explanation part, you should understand what that particular line talks about in the poem. When you understand the poem from the beginning to the end, in each and every stanza of that, each and every line of that, definitely you'll be able to answer for the ERC. So you have to keep an eye at each and every line of the poem.